we have to understand that everyone has been created with a purpose. It said even destruction was created for a purpose, to destroy. It said that when it was time to create, God created evil for a purpose. Oh, my. When Lucifer, son of the morning, decided that he was going to rebel, God created evil to contain him. So even evil has been created for purpose. It is no such thing as mistakes and oops in God. I don't care if daddy raped mama and you'll never know who he is. It was purpose. God took a bad situation to birth you out. All of us are purposed. Pharaoh was created for purpose. It says that God hardened his heart that he would show himself mighty to the children of Israel. Everything and everyone has been created for purpose. A tree has a purpose. A dog has a purpose. Water has purpose. That speaker has a purpose. That chair you're sitting in, purpose. So what would make you think that you were just created to be here? My mama those used to say something, you just taking up space on earth. You just need to go on about your business because you're occupying some space. Somebody else could be breathing that air. If you're not going to do anything with yourself. Now we get confused sometimes because we see other people as having great purposes and our purposes as being nothing. But over in the book of Ephesians, it says that the body has been put together. Every piece is critical. We fit ourselves jointly together, and the least comely parts really are more important than the parts that show off all the time. Everybody want to be a preacher. Everybody want to be an evangelist. Everybody want a pulpit. Don't you know that somebody got to hold the door? Somebody had to go this morning with all these babies over here. Every part is important, and the more uncomely parts are more important than the ones you want to show off. Baby, be careful what you ask for, because if your purpose is not to be a pastor, if your purpose is not to be a preacher, if your purpose is not to be an apostle, and you step into those shoes, you're going to destroy yourself. Because there's a grace given to each one of us for the purpose and the call that be upon our lives. See, sometimes what happened with us, we try to help God out. God don't need no help. He created you for the purpose, and everything is sitting in place. All you need to do is yield unto him and walk out purpose. But sometimes we mess up stuff. So this morning, if you hear nothing else, all I'm going to say to you is get back on track. Because you are purposed. Oh, my. We're all purposed. God just didn't decide he didn't have anything else to do and put a babe in the womb of a woman. He just didn't decide he didn't have anything else to do and say, well, you're going to be born today. I'm bored. You were born on purpose for purpose. Well, I'm nothing but a little mother at home. I don't have a job. Purpose. But I challenge all of you today to find out who you are and what purpose you have been created for. God does not hide your purpose. Sometimes, well, I can't figure it out. It's not for you to figure it out. It's for you to walk it out. Tell people all the time, I didn't know who I was when I came to Christ, but I did know I had to work. I understood that when I read the Bible. It said that because I was now saved, how I read it, it was now time for me to help somebody else. It was time for me to do some service, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to shelter the homeless. This is what I read now. Maybe it read different for you. It didn't mean it was time for me to sit on a pew. It wasn't time for me to sing on the choir. It wasn't time for me to get on the usher board. We do all of those things because we serve in the house. But he gave some specific instruction to those who belong. He said, now care for the least of these. Occupy until I come. There's certain things that he tells us to do. And as I begin to do, I went and volunteered at the local shelter called the Samaritan House. I went and volunteered, and it wasn't a year later, my feet had put me on the path of destiny. I began to walk out my purpose, and it was quite clear to me what I was called to do. I ended up pastoring a group of women, and some men would tag along. A Bible study we ran in Irmo for about 2 years, was it? About 2 years, I was faithful to this thing and took some people along with me. Found myself really, I went over there to teach the people. Miss Pat was over there. They called for, I think you went on a fast, Miss Pat. The young lady I used to work with at Mack Truck knew Miss Pat. They were friends, and Miss Pat, those were struggling with something, so they invited me over to pray with them and, pray over them. And it started out with a fast. Miss Pat hadn't been back to some stuff since that day, about 13 years ago. And it started from there. I became Miss Pat's pastor about 13, 14 years ago. Didn't even know I was a pastor. I was just walking out purpose. I was just doing what he had laid on my heart to do. I was going over there to do the Bible study. We were laying hands, falling out on the floor. We doing all kind of stuff in that woman's house. And so it turned out that nobody wanted these people. I tried to take them or send them. They wouldn't leave. Tried to send them over there. Tried to send Miss Pat back down to where she, no. Nobody wanted to pastor them. And why was that? It was because I was their pastor. Oh, y'all ain't ready for this. I had walked into it. It didn't matter how I wanted to deny it. It didn't matter how. I ain't nobody pastor now. Y'all asking too much. It didn't matter how I didn't want to leave the job that was paying me all the money. It didn't matter that my career now was over in the world. It didn't matter that now I was really going to have to walk out on faith because there wasn't no money. It didn't matter that the son was in college. It didn't matter that I had grandchildren. None of that mattered. I was now on my path of destiny and my feet could not be turned back. And so in the living room of that same house with 17 people present, 11, 12 years ago, we birthed out Across All Boundaries. We sat down and we came across the name, and we were more Caucasian than we were black. We had, lesbians sitting up among us. See, the people don't even at the scaffolding that built Across All Boundaries were lesbian white women. Y'all don't hear that now. Not practicing lesbian. Understand that now. Because sometimes people have a problem with homosexuals and the lesbian. I don't have a problem with them. I have a problem if you're practicing. Because see, we got liars sitting up in the church, but are you practicing? You got backbiters sitting up in the church, but are you practicing? Yeah, I hit some nerves right there. Because we got some sinners sitting up in the house. God is not upset with the sinner. He's upset with the sin. Well, he still looks sweet, baby. He might be sweet, but is he making any sugar? That's all you need to worry about. If he ain't making the sugar, don't worry about how sweet he is. See, this is why we're losing so many people, because we're so tight. We don't understand. They can live holy lives. If you a liar and you prone to lie, you have to make a choice whether or not you're going to lie. Because God is no more upset with the homosexual than he is with the liar. So I got to help some people. You need to know what you're getting into when you look over here. The lie going to put you in hell, and the homosexuality, one ain't going to keep you out or get you a little, your fire ain't going to be a little bit low on the burner. And so I ended up walking into the purpose as I worked. We want to lay back on the easy street and God just tell us, well, tell me who I am, Lord. Do something. Help somebody. Feed somebody. Take somebody in. Give somebody a word. Get up in the morning and pray for somebody other than yourself. And I promise you, your feet will guide you. And it says that the steps of a righteous man are ordered of the Lord. That means if I'm walking in righteousness, if I'm doing what God has called me to do, wherever I find myself is the right place to be. I cannot be on a wrong path and be obedient to God. I don't care how hellacious it is. I don't care how bad it looks. I don't care how much hell is breaking out in it. If I'm walking upright before him, if I'm obeying him, wherever I find myself, he put me there. Because my steps have been ordered of him. And if I'm there, it's my destiny. How could this be my destiny? My husband left me. My wife left me. I lost my job. It's all there to make you better, baby. Don't even worry about it. How could this be destiny when nothing seems to be working out for me? My family is turned on me. Baby, it's your destiny. It's all working together for good. He didn't tell you it was good. He said it's working together with something else to turn out for good for you. It's like Joseph said, you meant it for evil, but Yahweh allow it for everybody's good. I had to go down into bondage. I had to go down into prison that a whole nation of people would be preserved by the Lord. Oh, my.